y'all. You tuned back into another episode of Moving on Purpose. I'm your boy Chris.
Welcome back. It's your boy Jarrell, and we getting straight into another week, boy. How you doing?
Yeah, man, I'm good, man. How you feeling? How you living, man?
Man, it's been another week, bro. Challenging, but we here, bro. I'm really just here to kick it about this topic.
Yeah.
I'm really excited because this is something we always see online.
For sure.
We've seen about 1 billion different takes to this
Right.
So I'm excited just to add our own little flavor and opinions here.
I feel that.
How you been though?
I've been alright. Can't complain. You know, just running through the motions. You know.
I feel that.
Everything's been on the up and up. Living great. Living blessed.
Rinse and repeat, right?
Rinse and repeat. You know.
I feel that.
Just same old, but
you ready to
same new. My fault.
Same new.
That's how we're gonna switch it up. Same new. It ain't old no more. You feel me?
That's a fact.
Doing new shit. But yeah, definitely. Let's jump into the topic for sure. Like you said, this is something we've seen over and over. You feel me? But we wanted to put our own take on it and just have a conversation on it for real.
For sure. And I think you found a good ass quote to kick this off.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
By Matthew Henry in the New Testament.
I think it said I'm gonna grab it.
In 3,
2, 1. Yeah, but it's by Matthew. I think it said the rendition of the Old and New Testament. That's what it's called. Yeah.
So a writer of history, I guess we could call him, classify him as that. But he said, "Women were created from the rib of man to be beside him, not from his head or top of." Hold on, let me redo that. Hold on, restart. Women were created from the rib of man to be beside him, not from his head to top him, nor from his feet to be trampled by him, but from under his arm to be protected by him, near his heart to be loved by him. I'm gonna do that one more time because it was a long quote. Women were created from the rib of a man to be beside him, not from his head to top him, nor from his feet to be trampled by him, but under his arm to be protected by him, near his heart to be loved by him. How do you feel about that? And how do you feel that quote fits in like today's landscape?
First, let's let them know. Today's topic is the war between men and women. That's the topic, quote unquote. But with today's landscape, I feel like it's a constant. Like, it's kind of crazy because like in the real world, when you're operating, moving around, it's not really like that. At least how I feel, like how I see it. I don't really see much like bicker between men and women where it's like, no, you this, you that. Nah. It's really when you get online and you see like the conversations are held. I mean, you could. I feel like these conversations are had like when the topics come up. But like when you run into a stranger, you're not really those kind of views and like those conversations don't really come up where it's like, I think woman, you should be making a sandwich. You should be, or men should be da da da. Like it's really like when you get online or like when you have like yo, what do y'all think about this? That's when the conversation comes up. But I feel like it ties in. I like the quote.
Yeah,
I think
sure.
I agree with it. I feel like we're like a puzzle piece. You feel me? So it's like men and women come together where it's like whatever one's missing, the other one fills, and it's like vice versa. So I feel like we need to I believe that it's more so about coexisting rather than you should do this or I shouldn't do that. It's like we got to find a way to coexist for real. Yeah. That's how I see it though. Like I definitely feel like I like how you said not from his head to top him.
Yeah, what did that? Because that sounded crazy to me at first. You heard me giggle. What did that mean to you? Because like I was a little thrown off.
Right. So basically, like it's like the balance in it. Like not from the head to be like, yo, she's above him, or like she's over him. But not from the feet either, where it's like you stamp like what do you say? A trampoline. So like you're not do that. Like you're not. It's not either. It's like in between where it's like yo, you like right beside. You know. Yeah. So
you touched on a real good point. It seems like at least online anyway, we do a lot of that like from the head and under the feet in terms of like women expressing themselves in terms of what they don't want from a man, and the men just bashing the women online.
Right.
It seems just to be like very prevalent online. Where do you think that comes from?
Maybe because I can't really pinpoint it, but I would like assume like maybe there's a lot of online dating. So like, whereas the dating is online, the conversation also happens online. Yeah. And whereas in person, it's more so like it's like a confrontational kind of conversation.
Yeah.
And I feel like people don't really want to get into like a argument. If you talking to a female or like a shorty or whatever, you're not really trying to sit there and argue like, yo, this is like it's like, what are you going for here? Right.
This is like end of the kickback.
Yeah,
everybody
right, everybody
the last game
right,
type of vibe.
Right.
The niggas is getting a little heated.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
I mean?
So I don't think those conversations really they don't really move the needle forward as much.
Agree.
I think it definitely it's some things that need to be corrected where it's like, all right, both sides be wilding on a certain extent.
For sure.
But it's just it's usually like a finger outward always, like, oh, you this, you that, you that. So it's
blame the other side.
Yeah,
no accountability on either side.
Right. And like it's been because like even me, like sometimes I'll get into it sometimes, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a funny episode. Like I'll say certain things and it'll be like, oh no, that's misogynistic or yo, it's been like this is like a person. It's been a time like I went to like one of the homies girls homegirl house, if you can follow that. One of the homies girls, yeah, right.
There was a lot of extensions on
right,
that.
Exactly. And I was damn near banned for like we had got into the conversation and it was just like, oh, how could you say that? Oh yeah, he's not welcome here.
Oh
yeah,
that's how that was coming.
Yeah, and it's like that's what I'm saying. Like when you meet new people and you have these conversations, now they're basing their whole view of you on that conversation. So that's why it's like it's really like, but
it's such a hot topic because like so many people have like opinions, like direct connections to this topic.
Right,
and, like,
right.
They may be coming from a super high, intense emotional state from that situation. So I get what you're saying. I cut you off. What you about to say?
Oh, nah. I was gonna say like the conversation we was having too was just. So I don't. This is my personal take. You feel me? I could be wrong. But this was just my personal take. She was like, she had like a real strong stance on like, yo, we should be equal. Da 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 da. Like whatever.
Yeah. Your facial expression is hilarious. By the way, but go ahead. I guess what side you was on. Go ahead.
Like I'm not trying to get into the details, but like that thought process, like said a lot about her personality, or like explained a lot about her personality.
Okay.
She didn't feel like she wanted to be led, or like all of those kind of things. Like so everything. If you can make assumptions, you would probably be right. And it was like, the deeper we got into the story,
just all made sense.
It made sense. I was like, okay. So one topic that really hit her was like, she was like, yeah, I was raised by my mom, and it was like she was basically like raised by a single mom, and she was strong. Da, da, da. I'm like, all right, bet I get that, and I'm like, yeah, but you were improperly raised.
Yeah. Because
in the household, there should be a father and a mother.
Yeah.
And she was like, how could you say that? Like, that's when everything started, like, the whole conversation shifted. And like, I'm like, yo, I was raised by a single mother. I'm not saying this to, like, point a finger, like, down you, but there's a void in the house when there's not a father in the house. Like, don't get me wrong, my mother did an outstanding job. Like, you feel me? Love my mom. She did everything, like, the best job a mother could do, for real.
Right.
But that doesn't negate the fact that a father should still be in the household.
For sure.
And it was just funny because like it's just that whole conversation had went left once that happened though.
So I got like kind of two questions off of that, but we're gonna go one way first. Would you say like this woman was like not operating in like a feminine zone? Would you say she like exhibited more masculine energy in terms of her wanting to be like the like leader in like conversations and just being like very, I want to say, what's the word I'm looking for? Very like not arrogant, but like defiant.
What I mean? Like I know what you mean. I don't think it wasn't. She wasn't operating from a sweet. Let's say from a sweet place. It wasn't like a. Right? Yeah. Like it was more like yo. Like,
it was like oh all right.
Right. She wanted to get her point across. So.
Right.
Now, I don't think it was really from like I don't like I said this was my first encounter with her, so I don't know how she operates in like everyday life, but in that conversation she was just like, yo, this like she had some strong stances about it.
You touched on something, sorry to cut you off, but like you touched on something and you said like she grew up in like improper household, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now I feel like the reason she probably got defensive is because it feels like a personal attack.
Right,
like,
yeah,
you gonna
right,
tell
yeah,
me
yeah,
I was
yeah,
raised
yeah,
improperly?
yeah,
I love my mama.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But a lot of like women, and I feel like this is where some of that divide is coming from, grew up in those situations and saw their mother do everything else. So I feel like now they're going into adulthood thinking like, okay, if my mama did everything, I can do that, and I don't need anyone to do bad with it. Like, I can do bad all by myself. So I feel like that's where a lot of the disconnect is coming from, in terms where they think they don't need the masculine energy in their life because they feel like they could provide it, and they've seen it be provided by the woman. But it's more so going back to that quote and what you said, like we're puzzle pieces. Like we're supposed to help each other out, and cover for our, you know, like we're just supposed to have each other back. And, like, make up for our shortcomings.
Right.
So I just think we're approaching it wrong. You know what I mean? Like we're just thinking about the whole thing wrong. And then when we get into these type of conversations, they become so personally directed. Right. Where it's like, you talking about me and my background? Right. Fuck that. Exactly. When it's like, it's never that deep, bro. We just really trying to get to the root of it. And like you exhibited, you was from the same situation yourself, but it just didn't work out. You know what I'm saying? Like you understand the shortcomings where some people are still trying to cope.
Right. Yeah. So you really can't blame them, or even like, because we're all just experiencing it, and like it's something external, so we don't even know how like certain things affect us, and we're just like dealing with it and like all learning through the process. So, but. And like it's funny because like these conversations, like even us, like we're 25. You feel me? It's like
we're not
super
qualified.
That's what I'm saying. We're all just like learning through experiences and just speaking on our experiences. Yeah. So I feel like we're coming at it from a point where it's like we feel like it's like it should be like a certain way, but I feel like life will teach you that as we go on. Yeah. Because even like I feel like you could like people get divorced in their 60s. Like it's not, I don't think it's like a certain point where you get it 100%. Right. Just being open to like understand the other side too. Like
for sure.
Once you close off and be like, a woman like this or like this, it's like unless you feel me, no offense to gay people, unless you're gay or you want something else, it's like what other option do you have to deal with? It's like learn to deal with the opposite or try to figure them out.
But their whole thing is like, I'd rather be alone. Because you got to think, these are like, I feel where you're coming from, but you got to think from their perspective in terms of like how they grew up. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying I'm 100% right. I'm just trying to keep shit together. Right. You know what I mean? I could be way off of this. Right. But from my understanding, the way I see it is like, they try to make, like, they rationalize being alone based off of what they've seen growing up. Mm-hmm. And then they also have like a bunch of degrees and success in terms of like educational, maybe career success as well. They might be making 6 figures, way more than the average man. Mm-hmm. They're like, bro, first of all, I don't need nobody. Second of all, if I do get somebody, it's not going to be below me. And like these women are like super high. You feel me? Like they're super educated and got really high paying jobs. So I feel like it's one of those things where it's like, I'm not taking this L. And like I don't need nobody else, so it's just like even if what I want, my super high standards, if I don't get that, fuck it, right? I'm good. I don't need it. I think it's a wrong way to go.
I'm about to say I feel like it's a cop out though.
Okay,
I feel like it's a cop out because you're saying I feel like you're saying that because of your outcomes. Like, if you was to find somebody that met everything you wanted, you wouldn't be like, nah, I don't want it just cause you're saying that. Well, we need to, also, we're saying this, but we need to bring women on to, like, speak on it.
We got to have a part 2 from a
word up. Definitely have a part 2.
Because we're trying to think for them.
Yeah, exactly. But this is just all on speculation, but. Yeah. So, it's like, you wouldn't prefer, you're settling with being alone. You wouldn't prefer to be alone. Right. If everything ticked off, you wouldn't just. If they found everything they was looking for, I don't think they would just break up with them just because they want to be alone.
But that's the thing, though. They put what they want, like So I think one of the things that's contributing to this, and this was on my list, was just like ridiculous high standards, right? Mm-hmm. Every woman was like a 6 foot tall, 7-figure plus. Mm-hmm. And it's just like when you look at the numbers, and I'm sure you heard it all across the internet. Right. It's not common. The first time. It's not your first time hearing this. It's not that common. So when, like I said, when they meet those certain standards themselves, and then they don't get everything from a guy, they're just like, fuck it. Like, we could be alone. And I know I literally just said this, but like, it's something mentally where it's like they'd rather be by themselves than be disappointed a little bit, which is, I don't know how I feel about that. It's interesting because at first, when your first point when you was like, this is all online, I kind of agree with that. This is mainly an online thing. In the real world, I'm not running into these problems. I'm not running into these problems. It doesn't mean nobody else is.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
That's your view.
You feel me? We're lucky and fortunate to be in a good place right now in life to where we're not suffering from a lot of the ailments or derailments that other males are suffering from in the dating game. So we can't speak for every male.
That's a fact.
But at the same time, it comes from somewhere. So that's what I'm saying. Like, this argument is not just online, if that makes sense. It kind of is, but it comes from somewhere.
I guess we feel like it's. I guess I feel like it's online because, like you said, niggas not dealing with that.
Yeah, you're right.
So it's like, but it looks like it's all online. So it's probably happening, just not in our experience.
Right.
So I could get that.
Because I was actually talking to a lady friend of mine. She was like, a lady friend. That's a funny ass word.
A lady friend.
Lady friend of mine. And we was having the same conversation. We was having the same conversation.
Yo, we want to go viral.
Yeah, you want We was having the same conversation where it was like most of this discourse is really online. And when you do find someone that you like remotely, even if they don't fit your long ass fucking checklist, at least from a man's perspective, we'll be okay with that. But I've seen 1,000 things, especially like from a dating entry perspective, where like women would check off just the dumbest thing. Oh, he has blue eyes. I like brown eyes. It's like, no, he's not right. Like preliminarily, I feel like women do have like high standards, but like when they meet someone,
preliminary.
Oh, yeah, brother, thank you.
Go.
But when they meet somebody that actually vibe with, I feel like that list could be ignored a little bit, at least in my personal experience. Like that's why I feel like it's more so online conversation because a woman might say online like, oh, if he texts back slow, it's chop your block. But in real life, it might be a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? Because everyone is trying to adhere to the, I guess, character they built online and everything, the persona.
I feel that.
So I do feel like a lot of it is just like ego bluffing online. Yeah. And then when you actually find somebody you're a little compatible with, things change. So I do feel like that's the case. But it is coming from somewhere. So I just wanted to bring it up. Another thing I feel like contributes to this is, I feel like it's on us too. A lot of the times we do some bullshit and then we'll be like, man, fuck that bitch. Like, we may be like, extremely like we could be extremely irrational in terms of like how we communicate. Our communication styles may be off, and then we may just like bluff it over to her tripping. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like there's a lot of accountability for us, and a lot of things is like men aren't developing the skills to talk and be successful with women. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't grow up a ladies' man, bro. I like video games and shit. I'm a nerd, you know what I'm saying? I like basketball. Yeah, I'm chilling, bro. I had to develop these skills to be able to be comfortable and talk to these women. So I feel like a lot of men are skipping that step and then thinking like, oh, I make this amount of money, I'm this, I'm qualified. Why aren't these women talking to me? You got it, you feel me? It's a skill.
Yeah, that's a fact. It's definitely a skill you got to develop. Like, at least if you in a woman, that's definitely a skill. You gotta make that clear too, because you know. But for sure, it's definitely a skill to develop. Because I don't think you could just I don't think you're born with it. Like you have to develop that.
Some people though, I'll say so. Okay. Because
I'm gonna say, finish that point.
I feel like some people are just born with the gift of gab. Like some people are just naturally talented at talking to people, wooing people, especially like you've seen people like at younger age when we was older get all the women in the world. I see people, even men from that age, some are like washed, some are still getting bitches. You know what I'm saying? It really depends on the person. Maybe they learn faster in that area, so maybe they did learn that. But I feel like some people are just naturally gifted.
That's a fact.
In terms of like the art of speech and conversation and relations with people.
That's a fact. So I would say if you wasn't gifted, you gotta work on it for sure. That's what I would say.
But then it's like, so like from that perspective, they'll be like, all right, cool, I gotta work on these skills. They go on the dating app and they run into multiple just like rejection. They feel like they can't even get into the game. You feel like it's hard to get into the game? How do you feel?
How do you approach that? It depends where you leave off at. You feel me? Where are you getting into the game? You feel me?
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Is you coming in to score 21-0 or you gotta come back from a blowout or like 17-18? Like you feel where it's at? Like so I feel like you just gotta have yourself at the most powerful playing point that you can. Like and it's might not be being a millionaire. It might not be having the gift of God, but like number one, you could now we giving up.
Fuck it, we go where it go.
Right. But one, definitely getting in shape. This is for men. Like getting in shape is the number one thing I would say, because I noticed like a night and day difference from when I was big and when, you feel me, I got in shape. And
night and day in terms of how, just with the women?
Or with the women, yeah. Okay. Well, even like for sure how I felt too. I mean, who knows if that's an extension of with the women and how I felt, but definitely like just confidence, and you walk around different. I feel like
you walk that when you working out, you got that walk.
You walk
a little different.
That's a fact. You just more comfortable.
That's a fact.
You like you just feel more confident. You're just like, yo, I can. You just feel good. It's just it's a better feeling. So that's definitely number one. And then just take just caring more too. It was a point in time where I just didn't like. This is like probably like I think it could have been like junior year, but it was 1 year in high school. Like I just didn't care. I just like be like sweats, busted sneakers. Didn't care. You feel me? And some people like, yeah, but Steve Jobs just wear a black tee and da. Yeah, but. Yeah.
But what do you want to like? Are you trying to build a multi-billion company, or you want to get some bitches? What are you talking about here? Like, come on, I hate niggas.
And it don't mean you can't do both. Just because you.
And that turtleneck that Steve Jobs had on, that joint was like $700.
Right,
that joint was not no normal turtleneck.
No cap. So I feel like people try to use that excuse, like, yeah, I'm focused right now, but you can be clean and focused, like. It don't mean go get some off-whites or some crazy shit. Like, you can just be clean.
On that point?
Go ahead. Yeah.
I'm actually one of them people that always put, like, dating to the side. Because I be like, all right, I'm focused right now. I'm locked in. I'm not trying to spend no money. I'm trying to... Which I think is the right thing to do, especially if you got to get your life right.
For sure.
But at the same time, I may take a break in that if I feel like I'm getting rusty. Because I still want to have kids. Like, I still want to have a family.
For sure.
And I still want to cultivate that. So I know that I'm going to have to meet people somehow. I take time to meet people and try new experiences and meet different people. I feel like that's important, and that's a skill. Like, even though you say, okay, yeah, I'm focused and I'm locked in,
right?
Talking to people and just being comfortable in uncomfortable situations, because sometimes there'll be some awkward moments during the dates. Being able to sharpen up on those times, it just means the world. Right. So I feel like that's super important. I got a lot of friends that's really like focused on that money track, and they're just like saying fuck dating, I'll find it later. Right. But I feel like if you don't have those skills inherently, that's something you got to work on as a young adult. Especially like going in your 20s, going into your 30s, you want to be able to like be smoother. You know what I'm saying? That transition good.
Smooth old head. Like,
not
30, but let's say that. You feel me? That's
playing to you. You know what I'm saying?
Word up.
So I think it's super important. Like, don't use grinding and unless you're trying to be a millionaire by 30 or like a millionaire by. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you really try to go super hard, then do what you got to do. You made that choice. But if you want that balance and you still want to create a family one day, it's important to get out there and meet people and sharpen them skills.
Nah, for sure.
For
sure. I agree. Because like you said, I'm on that same kind of time where it's like, I'm more focused on the grind more so than like dating.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's a balance that... There's no real balance. One side's gonna either fall. But like I'm definitely trying to do the whole thing, you know, get the fam. I say this shit, it'd be funny as hell. I'll be having this conversation. So it's like I'm like, yo, I'm either go the traditional route, I'll be out here wilding. So it's no in between, bro. I'm either be on my, you feel me, married, kids, I'm going Nick Cannon.
I feel like that's the only.
That's what I'm saying.
I dad was like, that's the only way you can do it. Nigga said Nick Cannon.
I'm going. I'm telling you, bro. And I be talking to the homies about it. Like, nah, cuz you tripping, bro. I'm like, imagine, bro.
Hey, I damn near don't want to say this because it's kind of racist, but it's something about that Haitian in you. That's that Haitian man shit. I niggas be doing that, bro. I don't know what it is.
Yo, no,
I
don't know.
5 different kids.
I'm trying to do it on some other shit. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna have a Cambodian Chris running around. I'm gonna have a Asian Chris running around. But I'll be tripping when I be talking about that shit. But it's definitely a thought in my mind, like, yo, I wonder how that would be.
How, like, the second life would work out with a man?
Second life. I mean, ideally, I would go that route.
Yeah.
That would be ideal.
Yeah.
But if I'm like out here on some bullshit,
But it's like, do you really want that though?
Which one?
Like all them different baby mamas? Like, you don't think that could be stressful, especially with like going on forward in business? I know rich niggas manage it well, or it seems like they do. Mm-hmm. But you know what I'm saying? It might be some neglect from the child coming from at some point where if it feel like you may be closer to one mom than the other, you know what I'm saying? You may not be seeing the kid as much as you seeing another kid. That kid start to grow feelings like, man, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? He likes whoever. Yeah. Is that something you really want though? Or are you just saying that?
It's a curiosity.
Okay.
It's a curiosity. I don't know if I would say I want it, but it's definitely a curiosity to the point. Because, like, certain cultures do that.
Yeah.
So,
Africans are...
You feel me? It's either Africans or... I think it's some Indian culture. I don't know. I could be 100%... I'm guessing right now. Please do not rob me.
Somebody do that shit.
Right. I do not know.
Right.
But some cultures, I know. It's somewhere. Some cultures. I don't know if it's Israel or... Some cultures. I don't know. I really don't know, but...
Yeah, they do it a lot of different ways.
Right.
Like, I heard of ways like polygamy, you know, having more than one wife. What's the other word? The flip version where like women have more than one husband.
Right.
In certain cultures and
right.
stuff.
So, I just say it to say like, it's just a curiosity. Just like, I wonder. Because I feel like at that point, because I feel like, I'm thinking it's like a way of taking the ease off of life.
How so? Because you don't feel pressure to find that one?
Yeah, it's like.
But you doing exactly what the shorties is doing.
What?
With the list. Fuck it, I'll just be by myself.
Nah.
How?
No.
How?
Currently, what you saying? Going that route or currently?
Yeah, it's kind of like you said, taking the pressure off, like taking the ease off. That's kind of what they're doing.
I don't think so.
How so?
Because obviously, they would have to be in agreement with it. And this is like a wild extreme. This is not like...
Yeah, this is not what I'm going for.
Yeah, this ain't like, yo, so by 29, I'm going to have one. 23,
Copy.
So this is just like a wild extreme, but... Because I feel like in one, it's like... They're like, you know what? I'm going to just stay alone.
Yeah.
Because they're not necessarily finding what they want.
Yeah.
On this end, it's like... There's like... A few of y'all.
I just want more than one. Okay. So, copy.
I'm living in abundance. I'm living in abundance. You feel me? Where one is in scarcity, what is it? Abundance, people. Abundance. Nah, you feel? I'm just fucking around, but it's definitely a curiosity. I ain't gonna lie, like it ain't a curiosity.
Yeah, of course.
But I don't know. I be wondering about that shit.
Yeah.
Because I feel like in that essence, I know, I just say that to say though, what I'm saying, taking the ease off life, where it's like, yo, it's like we take a lot of things serious.
Okay.
But I feel like that wouldn't be so much pressure, like to be so serious.
How so though? I feel like it'd be even more pressure because you got like seriousness coming from different angles. You know what I'm saying? Like one day it might be serious over here, next day it's serious over there.
There's a whole bunch of fires you gotta put out.
Do you just mean because the way I see it, the reason why I said it's a cop out for you because it's just like I feel like we all have a fear, men and women, of not meeting the one if we do want to get married, and like you saying that could just be like, all right, fucking, I'm just out here doing me and whatever happens. I don't gotta worry about trying to find one and stress out with building my life and taking it so serious. But at the same time, the shorties on the other side, they like, if I don't get what I want, I'll just go to the sperm bank, have me my child, and we'll live our happy, like you feel me? We'll live happily ever after.
Yeah, that's kind of max. but I'm a contradict, not contradict, but all right, whatever the word is I'm looking for. The other side of that though, I don't believe there's like the one.
Okay.
I feel like you basically create the one.
Yeah, I agree.
Like. Because, 25 the one might not be 35 the one. So it's like the one is constantly changing. So it's probably the 15, the 30, the 100. Who knows how many is out there. So I feel like you'll make the one whatever you need it to be at the moment.
One of the things I'm worried about that, like, because I'll be thinking about it too, is like, damn, would I just have, like, couple different kids by a couple different people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm worried about the relationship maintaining. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, I'll be cool with all my BMs, possibly, potentially. But but yeah, hopefully, you feel me? I don't even want to go that route, so hopefully, you feel me? It don't go that route. But if it do, I'm worried about, like, the different reciprocation of love between the different kids. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because I grew up under, like, 2 parents and shit, fortunately, so I had that, like, the proper upbringing that you described or whatever. So I think of, like, alternatives, and I'm like, bro, how would this work? But then I think about my sisters and shit, because my parents had kids without my parents. I'm the only creation between both of my parents. I said my parents. I said
wait, hold on. Yeah, rewind that.
Yeah, I'm the only creation between my parents. My mom had a kid outside of my dad. My dad had 3 kids outside of my mom.
How'd you say it the first time?
I said my parents had kids without parents. I said some bullshit.
That's what I sound like. Hold on. My sister and my parents. Oh, go ahead.
But yeah, that shit, it was crazy. But I say that to say that I'm worried about like your relationship maintaining. But that's just something to think about going forward. What do you feel prevents you from like settling down now?
Yeah, that's what I can say for me. I don't think it's like the one situation, because I like dealt with great women. Like, it's but for me right now it's just like the devotion to the grind, really, like, and just I don't feel like I'm prepared for that at the moment. Like, I'm still on the building phase, whereas you can grow with someone. Like, I don't think it's like I don't think it's like one or the other. I feel like you could be in a relationship and be growing and doing everything, but as far as my preference at the moment, I'd rather grow and then, seek that relationship.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it takes a certain kind of devotion to be in a relationship. Yeah. Which I'm just not ready to really embark on at the moment.
Oh, okay, brother. Embarking on new journeys. I see it.
Hey, what about yourself? What keeps you single, man?
Nah, I feel that. I feel like it's a lot of the same things. Like being focused on like my career and trying to just grow with different avenues in terms of things I'm trying out. I'm trying out a lot of new things in my life. Right. I don't really got the time that I would like to devote to someone. And I feel like emotional consistency, I'm just not there yet. Some days I gotta grow and be able to like handle my life better in terms of like the emotions that come with it before someone else comes into my life and throws some different emotions in there that may set me off or like have me reacting in a different way or feeling some type of way. So I just want to, like you said, continue my growth and like master my shit before I'm able to like add to someone else's life.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And it's just a lot of back and forth in terms of meeting someone's needs. And I don't want to like be in a fucking perpetual cycle where it's like, okay, you did good this time, but it's like, I fucked up right here. Okay, I did good this time. Like, I'm just not trying to go through that. I've been through that mad time. So
fitting somebody like box or something.
Yeah, so I'm not trying to disappoint someone all the time.
Fitting somebody box. I'm a little childish, you know.
Dude.
What over that?
Yeah, that's I had to catch it.
PG-18.
PG-18 is crazy. That's intimate at the time.
Right. Hey, yo.
But yeah, that's really the stopper for me. Main takeaways though, I say most of this is really an online conversation. That happens. Yeah. But another thing that I wanted to talk on is a lot of people try to take online like box advice and apply it to themselves. Yeah, every situation ain't the same. Right. It takes a lot of personalization and customization between different relationships. Just because she's the provider, or just because like this couple go half on everything including bills, don't mean that you got to, or don't mean that there's something wrong with that. Right. You know what I'm saying? So everyone like try to make their situation fit towards them. It's like someone said, "Hey, this is the right way to do it." Right. Everybody's like, "Nah, fuck that." Right. My man got to pay for everything. Exactly. I just got pussy, or the niggas be like, she got to do everything and I ain't doing shit. I saw a TikTok of a stay-at-home person the other day. Not even a dad. Like he just stays at home, cleans the house, make whatever the fuck else he does. Don't even got kids. They just stay at the crib. And he takes care of them. Yeah, she goes to work. She takes care of them, pays the mortgage, pays the bill. She got a nice job. Right. I think I can never live like that. Nah, yeah, me either. But get it how you live. Yeah. Everyone's situation is different.
Right. We all can literally, if you ain't hurting anybody or causing anyone harm, you can do literally whatever you want.
Yeah.
If y'all both want to not work and just be hobos,
slum it.
Do what you want. Like,
Do
you literally could have a
want.
customizable version of your life. Like you're living a Sims. Like, basically, like, there's consequences to all your decisions. Don't get me wrong, but you can make those decisions all in all. Like,
for sure.
So, like you said, I think you really just whatever you want, go to it. Like, swift through the advice. Like, and look where you're getting your advice from too. Like, who are you listening to? Like, you could, like, if we tell you, like, yo, you should be if she paying the bills, you should be clean. No, it's like, all right, but we just said we're single, so it's like we're not gonna sit here and act like we're 100% qualified either.
That's a fact.
So like we're saying, like, understand where you're getting your advice from, and just like live the life you like generally want.
Yeah,
that's
exactly. Don't lie to yourself. You don't gotta live to certain like online narratives in terms of expecting the same thing that these fucking influencers are expecting in relationships.
Right.
Just be happy and work on your relationship. It's not gonna be perfect. You gotta build. It's building. It's a process. It's a process. Come on now. It's not fairy tale land. Get out of fucking Disney World, bro.
Get out of Disney World.
We're adults now. We're grown. If you like a person and y'all got something good going, build on it, work through it, fight through it.
Right.
It's not gonna be easy, but if that's what you want, keep doing it.
Right.
I think it's that simple.
Yeah.
Just stay offline.
Right. Yeah. Right. I feel like we complicate it a lot.
Yeah.
I think we make it so complicated. It's either you want it or you don't.
Yeah, and I feel true.
Like,
either you want it or you don't.
That's it.
And I'm not saying like don't have your standards.
Nah, yeah,
don't. You feel me? Don't respect and love yourself. And you definitely should set boundaries and love yourself and everything, but I'm just saying, don't be so strict. It goes back to that, one of them episodes we was talking about relationship building and stuff. Like, don't just cut shit off off the slightest little thing. If you got that trauma and you got to do it, and do what you got to do.
Yeah.
But
set your boundaries and live, you feel me? If you could, because that's the thing. People will set the boundaries, but bend them for this person, but not that person.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
So some of this should be on you too. Like, you gotta like take responsibility for your actions. And even like when I hear it's like a tangent. I was in this I was somewhere. I'm gonna just say I was somewhere. Somebody was speaking on like how they ex stabbed them and da 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 da. Like, it's like people. I don't feel like people do drastic things. Nah, I'm tripping because you heard about that person that killed their family in Linda.
Yeah. So you about to say people don't do drastic things.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
That's false. But I'm gonna still say the point just to get the point across.
Yeah.
Like, the people you attract, you could kind of, like, sometimes you could see it coming, like, certain actions people do. Like, don't get me wrong, sometimes extremes happen where people just go off the wall. Yeah. But if somebody got a history of doing something, don't think you're just going to come and then, all right, now they're going to stop doing it. Yeah. If you knew he was beating his girl, like, she was telling you, she probably wasn't telling, but you heard around town, like, yo, he beating his girl, da da da, and you go date him thinking it's going to be any different, then, like.
That's another thing. You shouldn't, this is like kind of like a whole different topic. The war or whatever.
Right.
But like I only been in one relationship. So I ain't no fucking relationship expert. We 25 years old and single.
Just right.
We just talking.
Just chatting. Y'all in on the conversation. That's it.
But with that being said, I would say don't date off of potential. Like, just know what it is now. Don't be like, wow, we could be so good if you worked on this. We could do that. I did that in my last thing, and you'll just end up waiting for something that's never going to happen. Like, accept who you're dealing with as they are now, and if that's what you like, then y'all could build, and y'all could talk on things, whether it's, like, certain things that they do that piss you off or whatever, vice versa. Y'all could build on that, but don't try to change someone's personality. That's not what I mean by build. You know what I'm saying? It's not build a bear.
Not right here. No.
It's that's not build a relationship.
Right. Nah.
Another thing, just something that popped into my head. Try not to compare your relationship to everybody else's. Like I said, it's not a one box solution for everybody.
Right.
Everything is different. So stray away from that. It's very easy, especially with all these fucking celebrities, like influencers, like celebrity influencers with like relationships, that people that make relationship content, super easy to like fall into that trap and be like, wow, he does all this and that. I wish mine would do this. Right. It's like, don't do that. Don't do that.
Word up.
What they say, the thief of happiness is comparison.
Mm-hmm. Thief of joy. Thief of joy. Yeah. I'm gonna add two. This is something I heard one time though, but like I agree with it. But just knowing your sticker price.
Okay.
Feel me? You can't go try to get a G-Wagon at the dealership when you got $2,000 down payment,
right,
and a 500 credit score.
That's dead what I had when I got my car. Like 2,000 down payment, like 600 credit.
You feel me? You ain't trying to go to the G-Wagon dealership, right? You feel me? It's like these niggas got clean cars. It ain't, you feel me?
For sure.
Very clean car.
It's not no G-Wagon.
Right. It ain't a G-Wagon.
I knew where I was. I did what I could for where I was.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And it worked out. You feel me? So don't go there thinking, and on the vice versa.
Thank you. I was about to get to the
You feel me? You can't.
Thank you.
Don't go to, you feel me, the dealership with like 4 cars in there. You probably got $30K.
Yeah.
And a 780 credit score.
Yeah.
Why is you going to buy a $2,000 Honda from 1988?
88 is crazy.
You feel me? It's like, what are you doing? It started. The engine started. Like, come on, like that's
it start. It worked.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah, respect yourself. Respect where you are. Respect your sticker price.
Exactly.
But also don't artificially inflate your sticker price for what you think it should be.
Exactly.
I don't know how to help you in terms of figuring out that sticker price.
Right.
I'm sure we all probably kind of know based off of our success in the dating life.
Right.
But that's for you to decide.
Right.
Also, not one more. I don't know how many things we're gonna throw in. But another thing, don't compare who you had sex with to who you could have a relationship with. A lot of times, like women especially, would be like, that's I had sex with this 6'8", 210-pound, all muscle millionaire the other day. That's my standard. I'm not going below that. Kick rocks. That may have just been a one-time thing.
Right.
You might have to open up your pool a little bit.
Right.
Same thing with the dudes. Dudes, if you hit a baddie one time while you feel me, you might have caught her luckily. Or if not, that don't automatically mean that's the best person for you.
Right. That's a fact.
Try to like try to prioritize the personality and the fit more than the look.
Right.
So just some words. Just some things I see people out here doing. And it's mind-boggling. Like I said, I'm not no expert at all.
Experts
at all. But
like
it's just like little common sense things.
Right.
But common sense could be thrown out the window if an emotion is involved.
For sure. Because it's easy to tell people like what to do like outside of the situation. Like even you ever like you have somebody going through like a relationship, so you're like, nah, just break up. And you feel me? But
so easy to tell.
Right. But when
like,
you in it,
that's some bullshit, right? You don't even leave right now. Type shit.
Do you know your worth?
Right.
Feel me? So it's easy to say it when you're not in the situation, but I mean sometimes you gotta rip the Band-Aid off and feel the pain. Like
that's offending.
You just gotta feel it. But on the war between men and women, man, we gotta let's work together because together we're strong.
Okay.
We're strong.
Yeah, we got a call to action at this bitch. I like it.
We're strong together. Like all this shit in between, like they just want us for our money. Oh, he want us to cook and clean. That bicker is like, let's figure out how to solve it.
Yeah.
And
a way we could do that is understanding one box does not fit all. One size does not fit all for every situation.
Right. Just because you want it or you want your person to be like that doesn't mean the person you with has to be like that.
Right.
Get rid of the person you with and find somebody like that. Cause all this big, that's where the bigger come from. Like, yo, Shorty don't cook for me. Yeah. Shorty don't get rid of us. Yeah. Or he don't want to pay the bills. He don't want to work. He just want to sit home and play. Then get rid of his ass.
And I feel like the word that I feel like fucks this whole thing up. Like the word settling. Like no one wants to feel like they settled. It's like, I couldn't get exactly what I wanted, but I got this. It's good enough. It's not that. These are humans we talking about. Like
exactly.
it's not.
Literally.
It's not
so complex.
It's not a car. You know
So
what I'm saying? It's like,
crazy.
oh, I couldn't get the fucking
Yeah,
Audi,
right,
so I
right.
just got the-
Yeah, right, right.
Like, no, bro. Like,
Right.
definitely, like we said, value yourself, value your time. Don't be desperate for a relationship.
Right.
But at the same time, I don't know. It's like, it's all what you want. If you want to be hyper selective and die alone, go ahead.
Right.
Do your thing.
Right.
But,
but it's really what you
do your
want.
fucking thing. But if you know deep in your heart you want somebody
Right,
and you want
right.
to try to make it work,
Right.
then ease up a little bit, give some people some time, and then understand what your boundaries in terms of, all right, I will not accept this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure.
But just because you ain't get exactly what you want, don't mean you settled.
Right.
I hate that shit.
It be. Oh, not yeah. It be crazy reasons why.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how I view it. See the war, but obviously it's not a real war. Niggas ain't.
Yeah, Nick, this is a real war.
Right.
Should be getting thrown through the window right now. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But yeah, we just say that to say we just opening a conversation. Not even. We're just adding our 2 cents to the conversation because this has been going on for a while.
And we're definitely curious on your thoughts.
Right.
If you got anything you want to say, throw it down in the comment section.
For
Always curious on different perspectives on these tapes.
Nah, yeah, we definitely gotta bring on some our counterparts.
Yeah.
To,
Okay. My boy in the book.
Oh, that boy Rita.
Yeah.
So we definitely gotta bring in our counterparts.
For sure.
Definitely weigh in on this because it's just
and we try to keep it more civil than all the other platforms we done seen so far. We don't want it to be a shouting match. I just want some understanding from their perspective.
Yeah, for sure.
And like we said, bro, a lot of this shit is just online. So
for sure. So any last words?
Man, I ain't got nothing to hit them with but the outro. We don't know what you're moving towards, but we hope you move on purpose. Yeah, man, let's be nicer to each other.
Right, please. Our sisters, our queens. Oh man,
I know. That shit did not live.
Nah,